Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live stream for episode number 125.
Good job,
Hello.
Danny.
Not because I remember, but because I can read.
I don't know how you could get it wrong.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. And we have
Oh, that might be me. I'm sorry.
somebody.
No, that's not me. Haha.
Was that? I think it must have been Amy.
It must have been.
So my little bag of pills here dropped all over the floor. I'm good.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I like how they're conveniently disguised as Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Anyways.
But hey, I'm excited about today. We'll give a little spoiler before we start here. We all have pizza that we made.
I mean, that we baked. We didn't make the pizza.
Well, yeah.
Come on, you didn't make your own croissant crust?
There's a cross-section view.
I haven't even cut into mine yet.
I haven't either.
Oh, yeah. You should do
We'll
that.
see.
It'll make it easier for the eating time compared to the box.
Well, I'm letting it stay warm.
I sort of have that flakiness on my little platter here.
Yeah, mine's kind of iffy, but we'll talk about
Not
that
so much, yeah.
when we get to that. Because I have other comments on appearance.
Yeah, I have several comments too so far without even eating it.
You should definitely it's the texture when you cut into it, as we'll find out.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie smoky. Okay.
Do you have that out of your system?
I'm a little loopy.
Get my
I didn't
chance
sleep
to-
much last night, so I'm a little
Okay.
loopy.
Because you're kind of acting like Barbara Jean from Reba.
Oh, exactly. I watch that show so often.
I just assume that once you put on the food scientist badge, like you start feeling official, and then it goes crazy.
Yeah, you making me crazy, man. Okay. Should we try to do our pause?
I don't really have words to say right now.
Yeah, I need to drink now. Now that I have water all over myself, I think we're ready to go.
Annie.
I always drool. That's fine.
I mean, you do have pizza in front of you, so I can't blame you for drooling, but like,
I just don't know how to drink. I mean, I know how to drink, but like I don't know how to drink.
yeah, I mean, we were all babies. We learned that.
Yeah.
I think Amy wants to start. I think
Is that
she's
considered
so
drinking?
confused.
Wait, if
You
you're
might
a
need a sippy
baby,
cup.
is that considered drinking?
Yeah.
Like
Sipping?
You're imbibing liquid.
I'm not gonna go there. I was thinking more like suckling.
You
It's
slurp
sucking.
soup, you're still eating.
If you slurp soup, you're a monster.
Well, true, but you're still a monster that's eating.
Have we talked? I don't think he's in the chat yet. Have we talked about my father slurping?
I think maybe outside the podcast.
Yeah, because I think so, but I don't know.
Quick, before he gets here, tell us
He
the
can
truth.
slurp anything. I've seen him slurp ice cream. I've seen him slurp
Okay.
noodles.
My dad is the type that, like, when he eats a bowl of ice cream, he has to get every drop. So he'll, like, at the end, like, really ding, 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 and, like, slurp it all up like that. And it's like, did you just want more?
Did you-
Maybe? Like,
Take,
like
take the bowl to
reminiscent
his
of
face and lick it.
Yeah, it's be like you kind of remind me of the dog when you do this.
once in a while, he will do that, Amy.
Well, would it be better or worse if he grabbed a piece of bread and used that to absorb the last bits?
Ooh, bread to absorb ice cream?
But what else would you use?
Maybe a good brioche bun.
Cake.
Let's do the
I would use
podcast.
cake.
We've already interrupted the pause long enough.
But it's hard to grab a piece of cake and
Amy, we're ready to start.
Yeah, pause. Get us out of this.
you pause. This is the Food Scientist Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Zajac. I'm here with Danny Sussman
Hey, internet.
and Brian Pierce.
Hi, internet and anyone listening on the bus because someone is just playing this without their
Oh,
headphones.
they downloaded it locally. Hi.
Oh, that's
Whenever
you.
you're listening to this, we are saying hello.
That's
Or
true.
if you're watching, we're saying hello. So this week,
Even my
we will have
computer
our
is saying
normal-
hello.
we'll have our normal news and experiences. Then we're going to have some pizza and Coke. Wink, wink. You know there's a catch.
Always.
Wait. Don't say that we're having Coke. Wink, wink. We don't
Yeah.
need the
We are
police
having
showing
Coke.
up.
Pizza and
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
We're going to have some things for Brian here, some interesting potato chips, and end on some candy thins, which I'm kind of looking forward to, which probably means I'll be disappointed, but we'll get there.
We'll see.
It's always disappointing. I mean, if that's like the one theme from this podcast is disappointing snacks, right?
Yes.
Snacks.
I mean, I will say this, when we put together stuff for an episode, we've gotten to the point where it's like, do we have something that will create Brian face?
And the answer is undoubtedly yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Which
a friend of mine told me one of the things they like so much about Brian face is my reaction. Like, just be giggling while you're in pain or discomfort.
Yeah, the support that I get.
Yeah.
I'll be tasting, then I'll look and see Brian and go, I don't know what I do.
I've definitely gotten comments that they can see my joy in torturing Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you think it's bad on the podcast, you should see real life. Go out in public with us sometime.
We'll start with news, but before we get to news, I'm going to preface that I actually have an experience this week, so remind me when we get there. But I know Danny and Brian have news. I don't have news.
Does your experience involve salad?
No.
Okay, then I will remind you, because if it involves salad, I wasn't going to remind you.
All right. Well, there's a lot still going on with Dairy Queen that I know Danny wanted to talk about. So I'll give you the lead and I'll chime in if I have anything to add.
I think the biggest news, we are, this is being recorded on the 14th of June, going live for the podcast on the 15th of June. And so if you are listening to this, like the week it comes out, hey, June 18th through 21st, there is going to be a new limited edition Blizzard, 3 days only, to celebrate Dairy Queen's 80th birthday. Now, yeah.
So how do you celebrate your 80th birthday? What's the tradition?
Well, in the past, and this year they had their buy one, get one for 80 cents, which is maybe a better way to celebrate. But this Blizzard is soft serve that's colored pink, and it has sprinkles and whipped cream. But the center of and it has cake bits. But in the center of the Blizzard, if you think of the Royal Blizzard, it has like the cone of sauce. I don't know if that's what they call it, or the column of sauce in the middle.
Yeah.
They are replacing the column of sauce with a column of star-shaped candy pieces. So the pictures of it look really cool. They look like one of those like cakes where you slice into it and all the sprinkles and all that goodness pours out the side.
Or it looks like a piñata that just burst open,
which is super cool. But I don't know if you're going to like have a Sawzall to get your Blizzard cup open. So I don't know how you would do that. But when you eat it, in the center of it will be a column of candy that would presumably open up like a piñata, although it's contained within the cup, unless it's a breakaway cup, which I doubt. The pictures look like the cup. But it's a new pink Blizzard with candy inside of it for 3 or 4 days only. Which means, like, I've decided which Dairy Queen I'm going to go to for it. Because
how is there a choice? You have like your local.
Because you know what? I've been rotating through Dairy Queens lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know,
What's
like
for that?
the one that I usually go to is great, but it's been so overwhelmed with people for the summer that it's kind of like spotty availability and like this weird herd of people just like circulating it. And then there's another Dairy Queen I would go to that's drive-through only, but the line is probably 20-25 minutes long.
Oof.
Yeah, but I found another one actually close to you, Brian, that is
north of me.
Yeah, north of
okay
you.
Yep, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that one it has chocolate ice cream, which a lot of Dairy Queens don't.
Oh yeah, I remember Dairy Queens having chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, only a handful, right? Not all of them have it, but that one has the chocolate ice cream, and that one always seems to only have like one car in front of you at the drive-thru. You can walk into, and it's got a nice grassy area. I'm really liking that Dairy Queen. Also, there's a Festival Foods right there, And so I've gone to that one to see if they have the Baconator Pringles, and they don't yet.
And Danny, remember, right behind that Dairy Queen is International Market. It's kind of hidden.
I'll have to go in there sometime.
That's where they sell the huge durian fruit, the whole fruit.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We'll have to get that. I'll add that to my list.
It's like $15
to my house. I will eat it at one of your houses. But I will be there.
So kind of related to that news item, where if you notice I said there's sprinkles on it. Dairy Queen now has sprinkles, which it never occurred to me that they didn't, but they didn't.
Wait, they really didn't have any sprinkles ever?
Their sundaes just come with the ice cream and the sauce, no sprinkles.
Yeah.
Huh.
They didn't have sprinkles, but now they do. And they've added, so you can now add sprinkles for like, I forget the price. It's like 89 cents. You can add sprinkles for 39 cents to add sprinkles to anything.
I hope it's not 89 cents. That seems a bit steep.
I have a picture. I'll look that up while I'm talking. But they also added to the menu kind of with that, the sprinkle sundae, which brings me to one of my food experiences. So I had 2 Dairy Queen food experiences this week.
I mean, you sent us a picture of the sprinkle sundae, and it looked like it made me mad.
Why? It's a sundae with just a ton of...
It's not a sundae. It's vanilla ice cream with some... It doesn't taste like anything on it.
It's vanilla ice cream with a ton of sprinkles on it.
Are they chocolate sprinkles?
No, they're sprinkles.
They're rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah, they're regular sprinkles, but what makes them interesting, and for our video viewers, I have a picture on my phone, is if you look among the sprinkles, there's little Dairy Queen logos. The red sprinkles are in the shape of the Dairy Queen logo. So
how is that satisfying? Okay, like if you're having a sundae, how can you get that without anything chocolate or any fruit or anything?
It came with the joy of knowing you were remotely upset at me for liking it.
You liked it? You didn't feel like
I
you
love
wanted
sprinkles.
more?
I love sprinkles. I mean, it's a lot of sprinkles, but there was enough pooled where normally the sauce would pool, that when you got through the top part where you had eaten it off the top, you could dip it in and get more sprinkles. I love sprinkles, and they're not the best sprinkles, but they're not the terrible sprinkles. They're
not the wax ones.
No, they're what I would call decent sprinkles, which is, like I said, above average.
I mean, I understand enjoying sprinkles on your sundae. The texture is what throws it off for me more than anything. It doesn't add anything. I would eat it, no problem, but I wouldn't choose that. Just getting a sundae with sprinkles only seems like such a waste.
It's called a sprinkle sundae. It's on the menu now as the sprinkle sundae. And I had to get it just because, like I said, I knew it would upset you. And I was also curious. I'm like, is there anything else on the sprinkle sundae? Nope. It's ice cream with sprinkles.
I'm going to say this, though, on a somewhat related note. I realized recently that my whole life I have taken something for granted.
Sprinkles.
No. Definitely not. Vanilla ice cream on its own. Now, I got Neapolitan ice cream. And, you get that for the strawberry chocolate combo. But I got to the vanilla, and it was good ice cream. And I was like, you know what? The vanilla flavor is good. And what ruined the concept of for me is that when my parents were usually on some sort of health kick, they would get the skim ice milk vanilla.
Yeah.
And Amy knows what I'm talking about. I saw that look.
Yeah.
She rolled her eyes. So that just ruined the whole concept of just vanilla for me in general. But you know what? Vanilla, I'm going to give vanilla itself, actual vanilla flavoring, a little credit.
I will say, a good vanilla ice cream.
Sorry, if you have real ice cream, what we now in the States call frozen custard, that's even richer in the vanilla on its own is incredible.
Right. Yeah.
What I love,
you have to have something you have to have chocolate sauce or something, or it's just.
Throughout my life, I was a pretty big auto racing fan, and at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, in the most Wisconsin thing ever, they had one concession stand that had in vanilla frozen yogurt, soft serve ice cream, and frozen custard, and so you could contrast the difference in milk fat, all three in vanilla. and you understand that like good, rich vanilla, that stands on its own. It's crap vanilla that ruins it for everyone.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I generally prefer, like, I like a lot of ice creams, but I love a good vanilla. And I like if you get the one that has like the like bits of vanilla bean in there.
Yeah, I would even say a lot of the ones that you buy in the gallon are not that great either.
No, that's like the bigger. I think the bigger the container, the crappier the vanilla ice cream.
The mass-produced Americanized ice cream is not real ice cream because they don't use the cream.
Yeah.
Or the egg, something like that.
Do you have news, Brian?
I'm good to move on.
I can move to experiences, and then I can share a Dairy Queen experience.
Oh, go for it.
Go for it.
Besides the sprinkle sundae, they have 2 new cupfections. One of them I had. One of them Amy wants to have. So I'll talk about the one that I had first. Is the new brownie and Oreo cupfection. So it's a cup, and in it is chunks of the brownie. Like they have that like warm brownie sundae. It was that brownie cut up into pretty good chunks. Vanilla ice cream, obviously, hot fudge, marshmallow sauce, and Oreo crumbles, all in a cup. Holy cow, is that thing good?
Yeah, that does sound solid.
Yeah, it was super rich, super good. And then they also have a dipped strawberry cake cupfection, which has the vanilla, like the white cake from like the cake shakes, strawberry sauce, whipped cream, the ice cream, and then they pour the cone dip over it, so it gets like the chocolate shell in the sundae too. So if it didn't have fruit in it, I'd be super excited about that too.
I like the fruit.
The brownie and Oreo one, I got it because I'm like, oh, it's a new Oreo thing. I'll try it. I ate that thing. I was like, all of a sudden I felt a need to order an insulin pump. But it was super rich. Like even I was like, this is a lot. I have to pause. I don't know if I could eat this whole thing. It's so rich.
Ooh, well, that just means you gotta, work out more.
Oh, I powered through. Yeah. I powered through. And in the chat too. Yeah, I miss you too, Sonia.
Hey, they can give me love. It's fine. I was going to say, I think that actually putting some strawberry, as long as it's not the mushy, like overly frozen strawberry that you can find sometimes, if it's like good strawberries, that would be really good in the Oreo brownie confection.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they would add strawberry to it.
I bet you could ask them for an upcharge. I'd be willing to do that.
I bet my DQ, if they, in the unlikely event they had all the ingredients, would do it.
I had news, if we're right, or an experience, I guess.
Sure.
Not firsthand, but buffets are opening.
I heard that Golden Corral is opening nationwide.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, like it's Golden Corral is moving to 3 different models, and it goes location by location. Some places are like, oh geez, back in buffet land. Some of them are cafeteria style, where they have an employee serving you, and some of them are family style, where they claim they bring the buffet to you.
That's interesting. Yep, another place that is opening, Daniel, is Pizza Ranch.
I was wondering about Pizza Ranch.
That's
buffet fried chicken.
I don't know about the ones near us, but my parents went to one, and it was cafeteria style.
Okay.
So yeah, you just went up. The buffet was there, but you didn't get near it. You told them what you want, and they would dish it up for you.
Right. I appreciate Golden Corral defining those different formats for us, so that I can say, oh, it's cafeteria style. No word on whether or not you get, like, if they just play, like, if they've replaced a Pizza Ranch, the religious music with just Adam Sandler singing Lunch Lady Land over and over again. But I would like that. If you know comedy albums of the 90s, that Lunch Lady Land joke.
Pizza Ranch, Pizza Ranch.
Kind of, yeah.
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 I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Amy, no, there are innocent things being said in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I had one more thing. I'm going to save it for next week because we've been talking a long time already about news experience. But I have another experience that we're saying. Is that what we're saying? The three of us?
No.
Okay. Anyway, remind me next week to tell you about Denny's.
Okay.
Ooh.
I would love to have a Denny's conversation. And Amy would love to be reminded that she actually has a food experience this week.
I do.
That's not about salad.
It's not. So, Danny, I know sometimes you make infused alcoholic beverages, even though you don't drink much.
And vinegars. I have my ribbon.
Well, I know, well, you're not the only person, of course, who makes infused alcohol beverages. Yeah, you did get a ribbon in last year's fair for vinegar. I didn't drink vinegar. I drank an infused beverage.
Vinegar is one of the things that people say Danny is usually full of. One of two things.
Yes.
Yeah. So somebody made a homemade peach schnapps, which was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to eat a piece of the peach that was in it.
Oh, that's rich with alcohol.
Oh, yeah. It was an alcohol bomb. And it's not like I haven't had homemade infused alcohols before. Heck, I even make what I call friendship cherries, which are soaked in vodka.
Yep, I do that, yeah.
For like forever. Then you share them with people. Anyway, but this was like nothing I'd ever had before. I took a bite of the peach. I was like, whoa, this is an alcohol bomb. You could get drunk off of one little wedge of peach.
Yeah.
And then other people who had this, they say they believed me, but still when they had a piece of the peach, like, oh, whoa, they just.
It's the vodka bar all over again.
It's but all concentrated in
vodka bar.
One little tiny piece of fruit.
Yeah, that is what happens.
But this was even more so than normal. Something about the peach.
It depends on how they make it too. Like, I made some.
It was good. It was still really good, but I could only have one piece of peach.
I made some limoncello using vodka, and when you sweeten that with simple syrup, there was enough of it that it had enough water in it that when I put it in the freezer to keep it cool, it actually froze solid. And then I was talking to one of the owners at an Italian restaurant near me where they have their own house-made limoncello, and they confessed to me that while they pour it out from a vodka bottle, they actually use Everclear. And then that way, when they sweeten it, it just cuts the alcohol down to closer to vodka, but maybe even still stronger. So depending on how they made that schnapps, if they used that method, which would get you a really nice schnapps, but also like leave you schnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and our chat is trying to censor me, but this is our show. If Amy can talk about her peach and cherry, like I can talk about whatever I want to.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
But we should move on.
Yeah, we should have an experience now.
We're getting room temperature pizza at this point.
Yes.
We
did get this.
Yeah, we all made the new frozen pizza from Digiorno with the croissant crust. Now, Amy went with pepperoni. Danny and I both chose
4 cheese.
Food soulmates, 4 cheese.
And it also does clarify it's 100% real cheese. It scares me that they felt like they needed to tell you that.
Mm-hmm. The crust doesn't look very croissant-y to me.
No,
I haven't cut into mine yet.
It's flaky and
maybe
butter.
A little bit on this edge. Does that hold it up? If you're listening to the podcast and not watching, you can't see this.
The cross section, you see kind of the layers in the crust more.
And it's not very round. It's kind of a rectangle.
Mine is kind of cold and soggy at this point.
Mine's kind of a calzone.
Oh my gosh, Brian.
Oh my God. I'm about to cut mine.
It tastes like a croissant. I mean, not as good as a croissant, but if you're saying a croissant crust, it's valid.
And it smelled
the first bite tasted just like frozen pizza. And then as I went on, I got like it's not like the croissant. It's more like the croissant croissant.
I would say even one step closer to not being a croissant than that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the breakfast sandwiches, that's still a croissant.
Mm-hmm.
Like these aren't even quite like the crescent rolls that you buy, the Pillsbury ones.
Yeah.
Like these aren't even quite as flaky as that.
I think I prefer French bread pizza if we're gonna have something not on a pizza crust.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's different from the regular crust. It's thicker and airier. It's a nice crust idea. I mean, if they didn't call it croissant crust, I think you would like it more.
Yeah, just because it's not bad. It's not croissant. If they wanted to say a flakier crust or like a different recipe that had a flakier crust, yeah, but it's very similar to a doughier pizza crust.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of doughy, and that's been my experience with Digiorno. They're always kind of doughy.
Is it light and fluffy? It's kind of like dense and fluffy at the same time somehow.
It's a lighter pizza crust, if that makes any sense. So if you have a frozen pizza that has like an actual crust, it's not just like a thin crust, like it has an actual crust, that can be kind of heavy sometimes. So it's lighter than that.
But it has the weight of the sauce and the cheese pushing down on it. So it's not like super airy, but it is definitely lighter, but also because of the butter, greasier.
It's working well as a calzone though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just fold it over.
So should we have our soda pop with it? Our Coca-Cola?
Yeah, time to pop our pills.
So there's a limited edition TicTac out too. That's a Coca-Cola TicTac, which I don't really understand why you would want to have your Coca-Cola in TicTac form, but we are there.
Coca-Cola on a TicTac.
And on the TicTac, it says Coca-Cola as the Coca-Cola logo, very small.
Well, no, TicTacs are usually mints, and it's for your breath. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like a strong flavor.
Yeah.
It's very much like cola syrup. I don't like it.
It tastes just like Coca-Cola.
No, I don't think you're meant to bite into them like we are, just so we can get to the flavor.
I'm not biting into it.
Oh, you're not? Okay, I did.
Mine just tasted like the cola syrup, the heavily Americanized cola syrup with corn syrup and not sugar.
Yeah, mine tastes like when you get the slushies that taste like Coca-Cola. Look, it's that flavor.
If you don't bite it, it's better.
If I was a Coke addict trying to cut back, this would get me the flavor without like the jump. And by Coke addict, I mean Coca-Cola addict. And the jump, I mean from caffeine.
Now, the thing though is I don't think it would get you the caffeine because I went one day recently without coffee and that day did not end well. So like I admit my addiction right there. I need the caffeine. Don't give me a coffee flavored Tic Tac, give me the caffeine.
If you're just like, I wish I had more Coca-Cola flavor in my life, it definitely tastes like Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
like,
yep, absolutely.
You get the cola flavor, absolutely. Like there's no mint. It's straight up Coca-Cola flavor. It's kind of like the orange Tic Tacs are not minty either.
Right. Oh yeah. No, I wasn't expecting this to be mint at all.
If you took the cola syrup from a fountain machine and just concentrated that into a Tic Tac size. Okay.
It does that.
So I just got my notification right now that we're live. So in case you didn't know, we're live right now.
Oh, I've never been more alive in my life with pizza and
yeah, but you haven't finished the pizza, so
Coke tablets. Neither have you.
Is it time to move on to chips?
Nope.
Yeah, we have two flavors of chips.
Nope, I gotta finish my pizza.
Old Dutch has 2 limited edition flavors out now: spicy dill pickle and buffalo macaroni and cheese. What's weird is, have you ever had buffalo macaroni and cheese like just in life?
I haven't. I'm not a huge buffalo fan.
You have, Amy?
Yeah.
That is a thing, that adding like the Frank's hot sauce to your mac and cheese to make buffalo mac.
Well, it also had chicken in it.
So you got a buffalo chicken mac and cheese.
I mean, you know how much I love my spice, but yeah, not buffalo.
I mean, and technically we've had like spicy dill pickle chips before, but those were the Flamin' Hots.
Yeah.
And this is just really a ploy to make you make Brian face. And also mention that Old Dutch has 2 new limited edition chips.
Can we start with the buffalo? Maybe it will kill my taste buds before the pickle.
We can. I'm intrigued by buffalo mac and cheese, and it sort of makes me want to make buffalo mac and cheese, but not really. These definitely smell like buffalo sauce.
No.
They are orange, and they smell buffalo.
It smells vaguely of buffalo, but it's not very strong.
Oh, I get spice, though. I get spice. I've had worse.
That's a spicy chip. I don't taste the cheese. I don't taste the buffalo. I just taste the hot.
Yeah, I'm only getting hot.
I get a little bit of hot. Well, not necessarily hot, but the flavor of Frank's. But
ooh, this is not the way I want to get hot. I can tell you that. Ooh.
No cheese, no macaroni.
Ooh.
It's a spicy chip. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
I don't like spicy chips.
I don't like spicy.
I would have liked a spicy cheddar, but that tasted like spicy.
We've had a lot more spicier than that.
Sure. This makes me kind of hopeful that the spicy dill pickle will have less dill pickle and more spicy, so I can just be offended by one flavor, not two.
That's how wrong this is. I'm rooting for spicy here.
It smells very much like dill. The herb, not much.
Oh
nope, that tastes like pickle.
Oh no.
Ugh. It's not very spicy.
No, but
it's not spicy.
It could be a pickle chip I actually like.
Oh.
That's a terrible chip. Amy loves
all the pickle flavored chips we've had. That's the best.
Oh.
This just makes me think of my grandmother.
Does it taste like it's been where your grandmother?
Laugh at you too now.
Yeah. If you've ever hung out after the YouTube and heard that story, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Oh, that's so bad.
I like the pickle chips better than the Coke TicTacs.
No. I mean, maybe, Brian, you have the pizza. You can try to neutralize the pizza.
Yeah, that's what I did after the buffalo. Mm.
The spicy pickle's not spicy. It's just more dill.
I would have preferred spicy.
It's more herby dill. It's not pickly dill.
I gotta say, the Digiorno Croissant Crust pizza is a good buffer.
Yeah, it just knocks all that stuff right down.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized these are top shelf signature.
If you have friends who make you eat terrible things, and you're like, how do I neutralize it?
No.
Digiorno Croissant Crust pizza.
If you have a podcast that you do with horrible people, get yourself a Digiorno Croissant Crust pizza. Yeah, they need to put that on the top shelf, a higher shelf where you can't reach it.
Well, good job making that exactly.
That one's the best.
I will say.
I mean, it's good. It's just
if you
better
like
than
pickles,
the others.
Yeah, no, pickles, no.
It is what it was supposed to be. I'll say that.
I usually don't like pickle chips. Well, actual pickle chips I like, but not pickle potato
Although,
chips.
Amy, did you get spice on that? I didn't really get spice.
No.
No, I didn't get spice either.
Mm.
I just got pickle.
It's better than Pickle Rick.
It's right up there with everything pickle, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But we have something that I think is probably going to be good. Something's going to be good here.
Yeah. So, Minnesota's own Pearsons candy. They're the ones that bring you the salted nut roll. Recently purchased in the last couple of years, Bit O' Honey. They also make the nut goodie and the bun if you're into deep cuts. They have new thins of all of those, plus the mint patties that they make. And we're not going to taste the mint patties, but I found them afterwards. Now, if you hold up like that bag, Amy, this is what's funny to me, is I saw Bit O' Honey thins, or the nut roll thins, and I thought, oh, this is going to be like a thin version of the candy. And I completely ignored the fact that on the packaging, it very clearly shows that it's a bark. And it even says, like, basically that.
Yeah, so you were thinking it was going to be like a cluster or like a goober or something.
Right, like a thin version of a salted nut roll, and not just a bark that is like the salted nut roll. But we're going to try them.
Which one should we start with?
I personally love the salted nut roll.
Let's go with it.
You like salted nut rolls? I think people
love salted nut rolls.
Yeah. I'm on like a quest to get a freshie, which is one right off the line because they're so very different fresh.
You know, the snack cake rules apply. They're always going to be good, but a fresh one is art.
Right. Now, on the back of the bag, Amy, you have the bag. On the back of it, underneath the picture of it, it tells you exactly what this is. So can you read that for us?
Creamy peanut butter base blended with roasted peanuts, crisp marshmallow bits, and caramel.
So
I didn't get the caramel.
So yeah, it looks like, is it a bark with marbits and nuts?
It just makes me want a salted nut roll.
It's good. It's different enough from a salted nut roll. It's its own thing.
It reminds me of the salted nut roll, but yet it's not a salted nut roll at all.
I think this would be a good movie candy.
Oh, I would plow through a bag of this. This is, you wouldn't make it through the previews.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to eat a salted nut roll during a movie, but like this would be good movie candy.
Yeah, this is very snackable. But
I like this. I wasn't expecting as much of a peanut butter taste, which is a nice surprise.
That's why I wanted to start with it, is I knew it was peanut butter. And I figured we could restore our friendship by starting with that.
Yeah, you know you have to get that goodwill towards me.
Every now and then, like I'll be shopping stuff for the podcast and be like, I'll see the Keebler peanut butter delight, the peanut delights, or peanut butter dreams rather.
Yeah, I gotta get those again.
And I'll be like, is this stuff bad enough that I need to add peanut butter dreams to the cart?
Shall we move on to Bit of Honey?
Yeah, and our chat is talking about how they like Bit of Honey. I think Bit of Honey is a bit of nasty.
So what is it?
I love Bit of Honey. And this says it's Bit of Honey Thins blended with almond bits, caramel, and honey.
Yeah, the regular is just a bit of waste of my time.
Oh, Bit of Honey is so addicting. It smells very sweet.
It's better than Bit of Honey.
But it still tastes like Bit of Honey.
Bit of Honey to me usually tastes old.
I like this.
Better than Bit of Honey, but still,
Bit of Honey always makes me think if I had crowns on my teeth, they'd be coming off. This is nice.
This is good.
What I like, okay, Bit of Honey is usually kind of hard. Again, probably because it's stale, no one buys it. But this is
chewy.
at least it's soft.
Bit of Honey's chewy, but it's not as sticky as Mary Jane's.
Oh. Okay, now the controversial ones here. Bun and Nut Goody, which are the same?
When you read the descriptions on the bags, they're the same. Like, obviously in the store, they're not. And they felt a need to make two different thins. But the descriptions read the same.
Yeah. And I was looking at, I was researching this because we're scientists before the show. And it said the weight is the same. The contents are the same. The packaging is different. So therefore it's different.
For the thins or the real ones?
For the real ones.
So the real ones, they're the same too.
No, the calories are different.
Oh.
The Nut Goody is 150 calories per ounce, whereas the bun is 160.
And now I just took this piece out of a bag, and I don't remember which one it is. Oh,
I need to pause for a second. I need to pause to address. Lindley is saying that if they had Bit of Honey with peanut butter added, Brian would like it. This is my thought on that. In theory, that sounds right. But it makes me think that it probably would be that Halloween candy in the orange and black wrappers, the peanut butter things that really aren't peanut butter.
The Gutenberg or whatever that is?
Yeah.
You know who makes those?
That's what I would worry that they would be like. So the jury's out on that one.
Do you know who makes those, Brian?
Who?
Just Corn, the same makers as Peeps.
Oh, yes. Now that you say that, I did.
And I thought that would make sense to you. So
all right. So bun or nut goodie?
I have nut.
This is nut goodie maple for those watching, and this is the bun. The bun seems to have more nuts.
Yeah, these are good buns. Nice buns.
I'm having the nut goodie. Are you having the bun? I'm having the nut.
Wait, you know what? I am having the nut goodie. We'll see. Maybe not so nice buns.
I had the nut goodie too. Now I'm going to have the bun.
This is very interesting. I've never had anything quite like this.
Yes, marshmallow and nut and a bark. It's nice.
Maybe it's just the pieces I took, but I get a hint of maple flavor with the nut goodie, but not with the bun.
I didn't taste maple.
And the bun seems more chocolatey and nutty. We're gonna keep
I didn't pay
eating.
my electrical bill, so I'm sorry. My lights are going out.
I don't taste a difference.
I'm not really tasting a difference either.
I mean, I'm sure there is one, maybe. Maybe I'm not sure there is one.
But the thing that's different is that when we say bark, usually bark is a little harder, little denser, but these are still soft.
Yeah.
Which I like. And with these, especially the nuts and the marshmallow give a variety of textures that actually go well together.
Yeah.
Danny, we're being asked, where can people buy these? I saw some at a gas station.
Yeah, I've seen them in various grocery stores. Now, you have to remember that Pearsons is based in St. Paul, Minnesota, over on West 7th Street. And like the nut roll, the Pearson salted nut roll is kind of like a Minnesota institution. So you find the Pearsons candies everywhere here in Minnesota. I would presume that they distribute them nationally. PearsonsCandy.com might have a store locator, but here in Minnesota, they're in basically all the grocery stores right now.
I bet that you'll be able to find them at a Target or Walmart in the near future.
Yeah.
If not,
and I will say, there is another one that we don't have today. Well, I mean, I have it, but we haven't distributed, so I'll taste it, which is the mint patty, which is dark chocolate blended with real peppermint oil and crisp marshmallow bits, which I think Brian would hate. I originally thought these would be like super thin mint patties, and I'm like, that is just a dork.
See, I don't mint in desserts. It usually doesn't do much for me. It's not saying that I don't like it. It just doesn't do much for me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah. We kind of have three.
Well, there's four, but like, I think it's a set of identical twins.
Yeah.
I can't tell them apart, so that's twins for me. So we could play our game of FMK with Nut Roll, Bit-O Honey, and the identical twins of Bun and Nut Goodie.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Go for it, Brian.
This is really easy, actually. I'm going to kill the Bit-O Honey because it's giving me a little bit of vomit in my mouth. Better than the candy, but still, when I'm looking at these three things, it's like it's obvious that one has to go. There's just no say. I'm gonna have to frolic with the twins. I'm sorry. That's just. I mean,
why are you sorry?
Because it kind of seems like kind of seems like the stereotypical answer. But I mean they're bountiful and like
stereotypes are based in truth.
Yeah, I guess. No, they both bring a lot to the table. And yeah, we're gonna have a nice frolic, all three of us. And you know what? I'm gonna just not even say names because I'm probably gonna get them wrong. You know, and that's just gonna make it awkward. So we're just gonna have a little anonymous frolic there.
You don't even care if you're getting the bun or getting the nut.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just like whatever it is.
Yep, I'll take it. I'll take, you know, let's be real. I'll take what I can get, but these are, this is the, this is what I'm going to go with. And of course I have to marry the salted nut roll, which surprises me because salted nut rolls are good. I don't love them, but they're good. I will gladly take one anytime, but these have peanut butter in them. And we know I love my peanut butter. We know that there's something deep there. So yeah, that's what really made this special. And that's like, that's getting the rose, that's getting the ring, whatever. Like we're going for it.
Right.
Okay. I can go.
Ready, Amy?
Yep. Well, I also am going to frolic with the twins. I'm a little surprised because as much as I like chocolate and chocolatey things, it's just a little too much for me, a little too rich, good for once in a while, but not a long-term thing. I'm going to marry the bit of honey because I love bit of honey and it reminds me a bit of honey and it's softer, but I still eat the real bit of honey too. I'm just going to have lots of bit of honey.
Right.
Which means surprisingly, I'm killing the nut roll. I love nut rolls, like the regular ones. This is a disappointing, it just makes me want a nut roll. It doesn't make me want this. I want the nougat and the peanuts. And
yeah, I'm surprised. I thought I would miss the nougat center more. But like it compensated all right for me.
Yeah.
So I'm surprising myself a little bit here too. I'm killing the nut roll. And this is why it surprises me. At some level, it's the one I like the most, like taste-wise. But it also makes me miss the real nut roll. So, like, it's still I often kill things that just remind me of a version of something else that I'd rather have. And this is falling into that category. Like, I enjoy this on its own. If you said to me, we're just calling this
peanut butter bark.
Right.
If you just gave it a name, you're like, we're calling this Chuck. We're calling this Brian. Like, this just has a name that's not nut roll. I would enjoy it, like on its own. But
you would enjoy eating Brian?
Sure.
You're getting Brian nut bark?
Steve, yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right. Just
but,
want to clarify.
Yeah. But we just had a name, like a person's name. Or just like it had a different name. It was just like called peanut butter candy stuff. I would be in. But it reminds me of the nut roll, so that's gonna die. Brian, I know you said it was like cliche to frolic with the twins. It sort of is, but then I was thinking, I was you, very briefly. I was you. But then two things came to mind, right? One, why would you frolic when you could just frolic occasionally, when you could do that all the time? So I'm going to marry the twins. Like, why make it a treat? It's like breakfast for dinner. Like, sure, you could have this occasional treat, but like, why not just do that every day? Like, why make it a special thing? Why not make it your all the time?
Polygamy is a law.
Oh, well. and the other one is this, is I was looking at the bit o' honey and thinking about the bit o' honey. And I realized, you know what? Sometimes you just want a bit o' honey. And it's literally named after a frolic. Like it is a frolic at its core. Like if you want like a thin bit o' honey, that's a frolic. It's named.
I mean, so is a nut roll.
It depends on what you're into. Like,
or buns.
For me, I'm less into a nut roll and more into like a bit of honey. You know, like, so you want an occasional bit of honey? Yes. Like a thin bit of honey, that's a frolic. And so
actually, all of Pearson's products are kind of named after frolics. Nut goodie, nut roll, bun, bit of honey.
Well, the one that seems the most like a frolic to me is the bit of honey.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So You name it after a frolic, don't be surprised. It's like when you name your child after an herb and they end up like on a pole. It happens, right? If you name your child Cinnamon, like.
Okay, then.
Just saying.
Okay, then. I will take all the bit of honeys.
I bet you will take Amy will take all the frolics, everybody.
She just wanted to put that out there.
Just put it out there.
As Brian continues to eat his makeshift calzone.
Yeah, just one little calzone here for lunch.
Is the mint patty? Is mint patty? I mean, in college, I definitely had a thing with chicken patty. Like when the cafeteria had chicken patties, we were like loading up. I was definitely bringing chicken patty back to the room. Like,
I thought you knew a lunch lady named Patricia. I didn't know.
No. Love me a
like
chicken
peppermint patty on peanuts.
Yeah. That's a frolic. Anyways.
I think that's our show this week.
I think that's
that's where we end this.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
All the other patties Danny has brought to his dorm.
Yeah, hamburger patty. That was a grind.
Amy, thank them for listening and sign off, please.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, doesn't matter. Still listen to us again.
You listened this far, and that's all that counts.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you didn't like it and you got this far, like I don't know if you know.
That's on you.
You don't have to read to the end of the book.
So, on that note, bye-bye.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
YouTube, thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Discord folks, I miss you too. I love you. Mwah.
And I knew that's what you were talking about, Sonia. But
I'll be back someday. Just taking a little break right now from things. Which it works out because my phone stopped working this week for a few days, but that's taken care of.
It was withdrawal.
Oh my gosh! Like, when was the last time any of you were without a phone, a cell phone? Like it's like I felt Amish. But no, I didn't, because Amish people even have cell phones now, smartphones.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I used to forget to bring my phone with me to work when we went to work.
Ooh, oh, you feel naked then, don't you?
And it's just weird. Even though I'm old enough, I grew up without having a cell phone.
I would just turn around and go back and pick it up. I live pretty close to work. Also, now it's super close. If I forget it when I go to work, I just go to the other room.
Yeah. Oh, I left it in the other room. Oh, well, can't do anything about it now.
Yeah, somebody the other day was like, can you make it to an 8:30 meeting? I'm like, well, my commute's pretty short. I could probably make it work.
Sonia, you don't have a cell phone at all? How do you poop?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, you don't have to answer that, but...
Please don't answer that.
Don't make me ask Brian
later.
Don't make me ask Brian clarifying questions.
I think most of the country world is with me on that one.
I know. It's like Snapchat wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people pooping. Isn't that the story?
I don't know what Snapchats you follow, but
well, I mean, we haven't done it in a while because I haven't had Snapchat. I got rid of that with other social media a while ago, but I have one friend that we used to.
Yes, that's why I said it. That was Brian's thing with someone.
Well, it wasn't my thing. It was something that I shared with one person.
I said it was your thing with someone. That's what you two would do. Is you would Snapchat from the camp.
I mean, you know what? It's a good time for a selfie. You know.
Right. I mean, if you like this face.
No, you filter it.
Oh, so if you like this,
looks like. Oh dear!
All right,
this week kind of went off the rails. I don't know what happened.
We ate croissant crust pizza.
That must be it.
And
And we had Coke, wink, wink, in the form of Coca-Cola TicTacs.
Yeah, we had little Coke tablets.
And some of us, meaning me, barely slept last night. So I did not control you guys very well.
Well, on that happy note,
Yeah.
bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
We'll see you next week.
So much.
Bye-bye. And the stream is done.